All right, we are back here on CT Sports Now, and our buddy is with us, Sean Patrick Bowley of Game Time CT, and we're so thrilled that you are back and ready to go. Here we go again with another top 10 discussion.
I'm all fired up. Let's go.
He is all fired up. All right, let's get right to 1 through 5, because this week, that's where the change comes. Not with the team dropping out, but Shelton moving from 5 to 4 for whatever that's worth. 5 to 4. It looks like that 4 is in the wrong spot.
What is that worth, Sean? What do they win?
What's that? Who?
Shelton moving up. What does it mean? What is it?
It means nothing. I mean, it means that enough voters thought they were worthy of getting a look. They've been. I was looking at some of the votes, and they've been getting. I think St. Joe's been ahead of them, and then they've been. No one can quite figure it out. Now, if one person voted a certain way, it would be no change. Just saying. I'm not going to say who it was.
I think he's talking about you, Mark. Yes.
I'm not
talking about anybody.
Away. I'm not shying away.
So
St. Joseph rolled their eyes at us. Like, what do we beat Stanford?
And
42
I
to nothing,
love
I think,
the kids at St. Joe's. But you know my policy.
I don't. You're copping to it now, not me.
Preference in my poll. Undefeated teams get preference in my poll. I'm making the statement. I didn't consistent.
I did not mention anybody.
I know, and you know I'm consistent with the way that I do.
I haven't mentioned you.
Right?
So you could be lying right now.
I could. Yeah.
Anyway, so it means nothing. I mean, really.
No, it really. Between 5 and 4. But let's talk about this Shelton team, because Shelton and North Haven, and probably what was the feature game of last week, right? You have two top-level SEC teams, two teams that, if they weren't in the top 10, maybe should have been in the top 10 at the time. And Shelton just always seems to do enough to win games.
Yeah, that's been their kind of thing all year. And we thought they were going to be a little bit better offensively this year, and they just haven't quite put the numbers together. But in this game, I think it finally started to see them break out a little bit. I asked them afterward, were they a little concerned? They only beat Cheshire by a touchdown. They only beat Fairfield Prep by a fluke touchdown. So you started to think about what was going on with Shelton. You know, I wasn't voting them. I was putting St. Joe ahead of them and certain other teams. But in this game, listen, North Haven came to play. I thought they should have been a top 10 team. But every time North Haven scored, Shelton had an answer for them. And you saw the Yakowitz catch that got them into scoring position again. And then at the end of the game, when they need it most, they get a 4th down stop by Jack Carr. He actually made a 3rd down stop on a great open field tackle, basically, to stop North Haven. And then he carried the whole team on his back to get the 1st down and end the game. So they're 6-0, Shelton. Can't complain about that. You know, maybe the offense is starting to get into a little bit of groove here, so good for them.
I think their season has gone the way their team has improved and the way they play games. They get better late in games, and they're getting better as this.
Yeah, I mean, the defense has been there all year. Yeah. You're going to at least look at that if you're Jeff Roy. The defense has been there all year. You're a little bit worried about the offense. About Jake Roberts didn't have as great as passing numbers this point of the season. Last year he was well ahead of where he was. Same with the rushing, but the defense has been steady. So good. Shelton is right on course. If they can keep this thing going and build a little momentum and get the offense firing on all cylinders, then it'll be tough to beat in the playoffs.
On the other side of that, North Haven played they come in undefeated. They take on a team that just seems to get it done week after week, and they were right there. That game could have gone the Indians' way.
Yeah, right. Well, they had a bunch of injuries. Their starting quarterback was out. One of their running backs is out. But the guys came in, and that's what Tony Sagnella said after the game. The guys came in, did their jobs. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the quarterback came in there. It threw a touchdown pass. He hadn't had any reps for the much week. So, good for them. They're going to be tough. They're going to get into the playoffs, I think. I don't see many people being able to beat North Haven as long as they stay healthy. So that'll be good for them. But, yeah, a little bit of a we didn't think they were going to be this good this year. We didn't think they were going to be right in the middle of a game with Shelton. If you told me that before the season, I would have been like, oh, well, okay. Well, they're a program now in North Haven. I mean, good for them.
Listen, they just keep doing it. And I will say this about Shelton too, is they are, and when I say one of the most exciting teams in the state, I mean when you go to their games, you're going to see an exciting game no matter who they're playing. It just seems that
they do.
Right, you're going to see a back and forth game.
And maybe that has something to do with the SEC. I mean, maybe we're underrating them a little bit. I mean, I know I've been
underrating when we say they're down.
Yeah. I still think the league overall health is down. But I mean,
Well, it has to be considered down when Xavier and Cheshire are
Right.
struggling to get victories.
You know,
In general, it's,
Notre Dame is playing well. The Amity's playing well. I don't think it's as I think it's a lot more parity in the SEC this year. I mean, you look at the FCAC, you see teams that are in the top 10 blown teams out.
Like Darien.
Like Darien, like Greenwich, like St. Joseph. Is there another one in there? I mean, Staples did
Greenwich.
a number on, Greenwich.
Yeah.
But Staples did a number on Norwalk. They're not ranked, but they're starting to get a little momentum back after losing to Darien earlier.
Let's go out of those two power conferences, if you will, and talk about a team that maybe we didn't think was going to be as good, and that would be Newtown.
Oh, yeah.
The Nighthawks, again, they are 43-4 going in the regular season, going back to 2014, and now again they've come in with mid-season unbeaten with a huge game this week.
You talk about battering rams. That's really kind of what they do. They kind of pound away with Dan Mason. I look at him, I mean, pound away. I mean, he's just bolting past the whole defense here. But they pound away with number 7. He gets a few touchdowns. It's 21-0 before you know it. And then next thing you know, but when you're trying to cheat up to stop him, you got Luke Malillo popping passes down the field to his receivers, who also had a nice game. Let's not overlook a lot of the other guys on Newtown this year. I know Dan Mason's kind of the face of the team right now, but Luke Malillo playing real well at quarterback. They go into now they have their big test of the season. We thought it might be NFA. They took care of NFA pretty handily. Now you have a Bunnell team that's kind of like looking at everybody going like, where's our top 10 vote?
Yep.
Where are we? We should be in the mix there because we think we're one of the best teams in the state too.
I've heard people say that Bunnell hasn't had a very difficult schedule, but every time
true.
But every time I've seen Bunnell, they look really athletic, and that's what the Newtown guys were saying earlier this week. Is they know they're playing a team with some athletes, some guy with speed, right? This Christ Nadavian here can get it done in a variety of ways. He had a 96-yard touchdown run versus Massick last week.
Right here, right?
Yeah, right here. So they've got some athletes here, this Bunnell game. Tell me about your thoughts of this Newtown-Bunnell game coming up.
I mean, I think Bunnell's it's gonna be Newtown speed versus Bunnell speed versus Newtown brawn. You can see Christ right here running for daylight. I mean, he's been there for them all year. They had a lot of transfers. A lot of guys left before the season started, and you kind of threw up your hands and went, man, everyone's jumping ship. It might not be a good season at Bunnell, but Sean McNone's got the team running, and they've answered the call so far. Yes, their schedule has not been great. Their teams that they've played have losing records. So now, here is their moment.
Right.
This is it. If you want to be in the conversation for, what are they, in Class M this year? I don't know. Yeah, they're in Class M. If you want to be in the conversation with it, then this is your chance.
There are opportunities in Class M for teams to, besides
Well,
St.
St.
Joe's.
Joe's.
But there are. But you're wondering where the other teams are going to be, is what I was trying to say. St. Joe's and Killingly are going to be in that group.
Yeah, St. Joe's,
Yeah.
Killingly, Berlin. There's a bunch of teams in that mix. Unfortunately, St. Joe's is sitting there, ready to knock them all off. It's a really strong division this year, I think, Class M. Last year probably wasn't. You knew Killingly was going to run away with it. Kind of that St. Joe's is going to run with it. Maybe they won't. Who knows? Maybe Berlin shows up. Maybe Bunnell wins this and says, "Hey, we're legit." So we'll have to see with them.
Let's look at 6 through 10. It stays the same. And when you look at this, you can't help but think of another big showdown coming up this weekend. East Hartford and Southington, 6 versus 8. More important, 2 undefeated teams in the CCC.
Yeah, my God, that's the game of the year in the CCC. I mean, since the New Britain one, we knew that was going to be good, but this one is one we've been waiting for since East Hartford knocked them off last year on that Raycon Thompson touchdown pass late. Here's Southington. Southington has been doing really well. The thing that's been really overlooked about Southington is his defense. It really does not give up a lot of points, despite the fact that its offense takes a little bit of time to get going. And they're not quite Shelton trying to figure themselves out, but when they need to, they can turn it on. You saw that against New Britain a few weeks ago. Jacob Drina is running the offense pretty well. It's a whole new cast of characters there. They answered the first call. East Hartford hasn't really had that type of team that a strong team to play yet. They've gotten a few squeakers in there against teams they should have beat.
Yes, they seem to play almost to the level of their competition.
Yeah, pretty much. And here's a game against Simsbury. Simsbury only has 1 win right now, and they needed
That was a 1-point game, I think.
They needed a 2-point conversion stop by that man right there, number 3, Raycon Tompkins, who's probably the player of the year. right now, if you ended the season right now, Rayquan Thomas is the player there.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts. I don't want to hear about it. The guy does everything. I mean, he's just an incredible athlete. He had 636 yards of total offense last week, which is crazy in a 55-27 win over Enfield. Now now they're the one with the target on their back. Southern wants that game. Southington got knocked off the perch. They didn't go to the playoffs. Now it's their time to get it back from East Hartford.
Sean's our most outstanding player. Absolutely, right?
He's the player of the year.
Yes. All right, Ben, thank you so much, Sean.
Thank
We
you.
wish we could ride your coattails all the way through the rest of the show, but we got some other things we got to get to. So thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Always great having Sean Patrick Bowley. And from Game Time CT, you can check him out on the website, New Haven Register, Sean Patrick Bowley. We'll be right back. We're going to check in on some girls soccer when we return.